we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened! Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today? Huh? What's up? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little. Motion to compel.
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all. Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard... That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting...
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our... Well, one thing's for sure. No, right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets... Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go fight... Oh? What kind of... A special connection? Yeah. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive. If it's because of that bat, Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when...
Oh!
I've heard bits... Is it really? Really? He was called... I thought they'd come to...
Just a little while ago. Thank you. Guess we'll...
All right, then.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaedahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, but there came a time we later considering Mr. in the interest of preventing further.
This is a true honor. However,
I can assure you, with the Kaidahara, you will be able to lead.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride.
I sense some hesitation. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that...
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people...
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation...
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought.
In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a No. My fighting form... Over time, those forms are...
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious...
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my...
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has... A quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaedahara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this...
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, but I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that if anyone had...
Uh-oh. Looks like the
I still find few people possess your... I am well. It would cost me for the poor victim.
Don't worry. We'll...
It seems you are every bit the self...
You flatter me.
Oh, let me tell you about...
Sure.
All right then. One of them is a...
Amanoma.
Right. 2 grown men. I recalled this.
Understood. Though it...
Sure.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll...
Sounds good.
Yes. The Kaedahara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me... The techniques of Blade... Unfortunately...
So...
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our specialties. And just as iron sharpened... As an example, the Amenoma art, stride. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in, and as for the art...
That's right. For only a blade...
Indeed, you are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal... But let's get back on topic. The purpose... We hope to assist...
Ah, yes. He didn't say a but I've done what I...
We heard that there...
Yes. I believe he went to collect the item. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder... If I had to guess, he's never been... He is
Truth be told, based on the evidence...
What? He is humble. Yes. But I also cannot... Anyway...
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't...
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the... Let's pay a visit.
I'm very sorry. My husband...
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm afraid we don't have any new... With this in...
That he'd always get so... Everything was fun.
Uh-oh.
He lost his... Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. He wouldn't sell them. I'm happy he has on the last day...
Whoa.
And that led...
Actually, it didn't. You must... After I said those... His voice was so meek and pitiful that... I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, had I not... And the next thing I heard...
I see. Amenoma, you...
At first, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce... I don't know. Perhaps he's... As long as he...
Please don't get up. If collecting... But the information...
A little
Let's try a change of scenery, and see if we can piece together... Rest assured...
Thank...
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was the fire at the... Do you have any...
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while.
That is the most likely conclusion based on... However, in this... If this isn't one fact, Mr. Nagata, the more I ponder it, the... Right. Amenoma Yui...
Darn!
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence. Wait, I hear something.
Oh! This must be another one of those, as sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it...
Now I'm picking...
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatar... Indeed, we should remain vigilant.
So it's an under...
The force is the source of the judging from the concentration.
Mrs. Nagato...
It could well be that, from what I've been... But most... Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with.
So what should we do next?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no... You needn't worry.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in.
That was too...
All we can do now, two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's quiet your mind. From this point, the trail of the main source of the Tatarigami...
Whoa! Look at all those silly trails! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing our attention. Let's take a closer look.
This is order. Order guide you. Gather. I will have order.
It's...
Ugh! Look at this red stuff! What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. Well... According to this letter, Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse, and
So...
he was not only whatever traces there may have been. Yes, if Amenoma
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatar. For a practitioner, all the clues that at first seemed disparate and I have a hypothesis.
Wait, you figured it out?
I believe so. On with the search. He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have... Show yourself!
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before! What's your problem?
Indeed, there should... But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it... Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years. Or rather, as a means to occupy.
You're many years as a descent.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed, he was and sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me in her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most...
So...
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had. After the death, I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power. The might...
Tell me, what...
My hosts? Who cares when they got tired?
You're...
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed it at long last. Kaedehara... Now... Me! We shall rewrite history!
Wind strike!
We shall rewrite history! Solidify! We shall rewrite history!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
We shall rewrite history! Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one! You've lost!
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body, even if you he is but a puppet, that the end result, and even if by any means...
Your fighting style, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance.
Really?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me...
Are you trying to on his deathbed, he passed in that regard?
Because all of that... I've been wondering, now that I've seen inside your... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right! Paimon remembers now! Mr. Nagato had a habit of...
Only when Mr. Nagato... Well, that you were determined... I think you but the way I...
What would you know about any of this?
You returned even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited this. How could you?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most
And you should...
Easy for you to... I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality.
I do not believe...
What?
Very well. Once we have done...
And as for your end of...
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the cursed blade, the power of the Tatar...
What?
Even if things take... We have a chance here to save an innocent...
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed now. Take...
Kazuha?
I felt a little... It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real if a blade built if he wants to have...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from... Since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned that secret...
All right.
What about Amino Mayuya?
The blade says he'll let Aminoma Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful. So, what's the deal?
Leave everything on this journey to me. Wind strike!
To the ferry. Finally, let's get down to business.
Clouds high. The bridge home!
Very high.
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather, let's keep going.
It's my lucky day! To the fairy! Let's get down to business.
Falling leaves, adorn my night! It's fine.
To the fairy!
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
But what would that do to Amano Mayuya?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
That won't work.
Wind strike!
Cut down. Like...
That was such a cool...
My apologies.
Are you okay?
Yes,
The Shin's grown
perhaps this time?
true form? What are you talking about? Huh? What the? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can help this time!
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
It's my lucky day!
It's fine. Wind strike!
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor and without proper maintenance. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And
Actually, This is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power: skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It isn't...
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy."
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith...
Right. This blade...
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
When I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition...
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push...
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Ame no Mayuya as promised. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battles. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryu Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that Blade hasn't told us everything. Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's up. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Ishin Art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Ame no Mayuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
One with nature. Into the wind. one with nature. As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
It's Yuya! You have returned!
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that controls the human mind. But I have some good...
Really?
Yes. Bad... And now that
I think I know what...
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade...
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned it?
He tells me that I have decided to let him do it.
You... But... He...
Thank you. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanome Yuya should conclude soon.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study, and so it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
This is the headquarters of the Tenryo Commission. Commoners are forbidden from entry.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
You